Good morning. Good morning, replay viewers and live viewers. We've got orange plus vetiver in the diffuser today for some upliftment and focus. Yes. Good morning. Hi. Hi, Nina. How's everyone doing? This window. Oh, I think that's okay. I feel like I have too much light. Okay. Hey, the phone's been off all night, and is still off. So, Mom, if you tried to call, or text, I didn't get it. Really quick, if you guys haven't checked your followers lately, boy, it's full of porn. Good morning. Hey, Angela, I just watched your replay. Your followers list, you may want to go through it every now and then. They're still having that problem of filling up with porn stuff. You can tweet to @PeriscopeHelp and send them a few samples and they'll go through and deactivate them. I hope that they make us a way where we can approve friend requests just like on Facebook, because when my followers go from 575 to 615 in 15 minutes, yuck. And then I was complaining about it and I thought, well, it is a good practice where you can sit and get comfortable with discomfort. So, business stuff, let's knock that out. My name's Michelle Wolf, right here. Not that credentials matter, but it's there. And then there's my website, caddyshackdesigns.com. Across the top are tabs for everything that I do that's related to this daily scoping. Reiki and, hey Ben, Reiki and design map classes and coaching and oils, all the random stuff. And then this is the websites for the things coming up. There's another men's workshop starting soon. There's another women's workshop starting not until March. And then there's a level 2 design rep workshop that's available to anyone who's taken level 1 from me. So if you've taken level 1 from me and you want level 2, the last day to buy tickets is February 11th. The men's workshop, yo! Come get your manly self tuned up. Yeah, that was fun. That was lots of fun. So, there you go. Okay, I want to do a card pull in a little bit. I got a new Mother Mary Oracle deck. I'm a big fan of the Mary. And then I did flip open the Course in Miracles book today, and we're winding up with this book, but I'm still going to keep it out and flip open. But ironically enough, what I flipped open to today was today's reading. Hey, Juliana. And it is, I Could See Peace Instead of This. I just got it, Angela. I'm super excited about it. I love Mary. Oh, thanks. Do you remember that movie, The Usual Suspects? This company takes movies and does plays on them with cats. So there's Kaiser Soze Cat. Oh, that's one of the best movies ever. It's awful bloody, but so good. So this is Feline Up, and it's Captain Feline. If you just go to Twitter @Captain Feline, they have Meowie Vice, and they have the Miami Vice guys on it. Super fun. Yes, or the other day I was wearing the Men in Black, the cats, with the Men in Black poster. Super cute stuff. So today, I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of sex bot porn followers. Yuck. When you say I could see peace instead of this, you're not going to automatically be like, oh, okay, I feel peaceful now. You're going to go through getting real conscious of the discomfort that you're feeling, and then it gives you the opportunity to work through it. You can't work through stuff that you're not conscious of. So saying I could see peace instead of this identifies what this is, whatever the discomfort is. The discomfort of finding 42 sex bot things in my followers is a lot. I mean, I worked in sexual assault forever. And then I worked with sex abuse victims, male and female, forever. And it feels like forever. So you know what people who are engaged in that stuff, how they got there, typically, and what they have to do to themselves to stay there. So it's uncomfortable to see all that in the morning. So maybe don't check your followers list in the first, say, 7 hours of the day. Wait till like afternoon. Yeah, it's a little much. So, but I could see peace instead of that. I could send peace, and I could sit for a moment and pray for those people. I could sit for a moment and pray for my own discomfort with the issues of, with the issues of sex in our world in the first place. I mean, is there any more loaded word than sex? I mean, I want to say sex, like, and whisper it like it's dirty. Okay, so we struggle with that, and the discomfort around that, you could see peace instead. Then, if you're meant to go work with people directly like that, you'll feel the motivation to do so. I don't feel that motivation, but some people do. So the idea for today describes the conditions that prevail in the other way of seeing. Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter, right? We have to look at our stories if we want peace. We have to look at what we're allowing to go on inside our own heads. If we want peace, we have to look at that first. And we have to make a decision. I have a woman in the Desire Map workshop for women that's going on right now who just has made this decision of, I don't want to live tied up by the stories that are inside my own head, for crying out loud. I mean, the one place that you can change stuff is inside your own head. And then by doing so, the external changes, and you start to experience this rapid flow of synchronous events, and which is like a breadcrumb trail from spirit to keep going. Like, keep going. Here's a synchronicity. Keep going. You're on the right track. Thanks for the shares and the hearts, guys. Yeah, good for her. I was really happy to hear her clearly define that. Like, I'm done with that story stuff. So good. So try this 3 times today, in the morning and in the evening. Yesterday was there's another way of looking at the world. And then today was I could see peace instead of this. I'm going to still flip through this book in order for myself. I just don't feel super motivated to keep making it the focus of Periscope. But I am going to keep flipping through it as reminders. So it's important to think about, what are you going to set up? What kind of systems are you going to set up to remind yourself to say, how can I see this differently? I could see peace instead of this. I could choose love instead of fear. Because we do this stuff in the morning, and then sometimes we go out into our day and immediately fall back into our old patterns. So you've got to set up Post-it notes or cell phone alarms. Or one of my favorite things to do is set up an alarm to go off twice a day. And when it goes off, I check myself. I check myself before I wreck myself. I'm usually in the process of wrecking myself before I check it. So, check it. Set an alarm. We carry our cell phones around like they're our blankies, so we're rarely away from them for long. So, set an alarm for 2 o'clock this afternoon and ask yourself, well, how am I seeing the world right now? What was I just thinking about? And am I feeling the way I want to feel? What is my core desired feeling, and what am I doing to feel that way today? I love my blankie. I love it. I was so upset this morning because a pillow I went to bed with it. It's crazy. Yeah, good. Yeah, 2 or 3 in the afternoon is a good time. And a pillow fell over on it and it overheated, and I picked it up this morning. It was I'm dying from heat mode, and I was totally freaking out. God forbid, don't let anything happen to the cell phone. Okay. Apply this to anything that makes you uncomfortable. If you experience any discomfort today, You catch yourself judging, you catch yourself complaining, whining. Yesterday I was on a whine fest about something. I can't remember now what it was. And finally I was like, Jesus, just shut up and go. Oh, I was complaining because the trash company, this is so stupid. I was all complaining yesterday because the trash company won't take anything but a check in the mail for payment. And I'm so spoiled to online bill paying. I was like, what? Write a check? I don't even have an envelope. Buy a stamp? What the fuck? Who does that? No, yeah, the same one. Shock Rwanda, that's a cool name. Yeah, I was like, mail a check to a company? Where's your PayPal button? So spoiled, right? I live in a part of the world that is not, good morning, not, like I say, the hillbilly is strong here. The hillbilly. It is cruel. But anyway, by yesterday, after like the 7th time I'd complained about it, I was like, Jesus, Michelle, just let it go. Just write the damn check. And you can't even like take it and drop it off when you're in town doing errands because they just have a P.O. box. So, catch yourself doing that and say, I could see this. I could see peace instead of this. Of all the axes I could be grinding to be so focused on the trash company being unwilling to take an electronic payment. Come on. 5 minutes. Twice today. Thinking about all kinds of stuff. So I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it. Isn't Angela lovely? Angela's lovely. First world problems for real, right? What? Don't inconvenience me. If the inroads on your peace of mind take the form of more general adverse emotions like depression, anxiety, or worry, go back to I could see peace instead of this. So it gives you 2 options for practice today. I could see peace instead of this general blanket statement, or I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it. So going back to the sex bot porn follower things, I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it, which what it triggers is in me is like despair. Like, is it ever gonna... You're welcome. Or, you're talking to me or the other Michelle? I could see peace instead of what I now see in it, which is despair and frustration. Like, why do we still... You're welcome. Why do we still have these porn problems? Why do we still have these sex bot issues? If I chose to see peace, then I'm of benefit to the people stuck in that situation. If I get caught up in my own feelings about, or my own stories about it, my own stuff about it, like I said earlier, I'm just not any use to anybody. Hi, Linda. Take several minutes to apply this to anything that's bugging you. Okay, and then the other options are 3 options. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it, whatever that is. Or, do whatever you want. I can replace my feelings of depression, anxiety, or worry, or blah, 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 or whatever, with peace. So that's a helpful one to throw on, like, your car visor, on a index card or a post note or something. I can replace my feelings of whatever or my thoughts about this situation with peace. Yeah, I like that one too. It's a little more specific. I can replace my feelings of whatever, fill in the blank, or my thoughts about the situation with peace. Let's just try it. We could just try it out. None of this stuff is meant to be taken at its word. This is meant to be an experiential practice. Like, do it. Don't just think about it. Don't just think, oh, what a fascinating fortune cookie principle. What a lovely cat poster philosophy statement. I can see peace instead of this. No. Do it. Go out there and do it. Now, let's pull a card real quick. Okay. I'm going to pull from this deck. And then we'll get to our Law of a Divine Compensation book, which we are going to finish this book, I think this week. We'll go until we finish it. So, let's shuffle. So just think about, I mean, we'll do this for the group, but typically what I find, me too, I got a new deck. I've been forgetting to pull cards lately. I do like doing it, I just forget. You guys can always ask for one. If you're feeling a burning desire or a need to know, just ask me. I've usually got, like a zillion decks. I love Mary. I love the Mary in all forms. All forms that she comes in. One of the best books I ever read was The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. Beautiful book. And at the end, the main character makes peace with the idea that the goddess has been appropriated by the church and turned into Mary. Because she finally understood that even though it wasn't her way of expressing the goddess in the world, at least the goddess energy was still represented in some form, and people could still find comfort and power and strength in her. Mists of Avalon. The Mists of Avalon. Marion Zimmer Bradley. She's dead now, but she's an amazing writer, a feminist science fiction writer. The Mists of Avalon. It's a total different take on the Morgane character from the King Arthur stories. She's usually presented as a real vicious, mean, like the dark side of female energy. But, the victor writes the history books, right? So, let's shuffle us a couple of times here. So the fact that Mary is still popular at all, mists, like M-I-S-T-S. Yes. Mists, like gorillas in the mist. Mary's in the mist. The Mists of Avalon. So Avalon is like the fairy tale place in the King Arthur books. Let me just make myself a note real quick to put that in the book. I mean, in the group. Mists of Avalon. Mists of Avalon. Yeah. Well, it could be Miss. I was talking about women. So let's give this one more shuffle. Let's see what we have for ourselves today. Chunk, 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 chunk. You're super welcome. Okay, what do we have? Our Lady of Great Power. Our Lady of Great Power. Woo, isn't she beautiful? Whoops. Can you see that okay? It looks okay. It's about the best I can do. There's an awful lot of reflection. Oop, Our Lady of Great Power. Such beautiful artwork in this. And let's see, that's number 24. Number 24. And this is the same as the Kuan Yin deck. It's the same writer. So you get this awesome book with tons of information, plus a prayer. And it's really long, so I may not read the whole thing. But, okay. My robes form the heavens above. In my sacred feet the earth spins. In my eyes the stars of the night sky are born and shine. My hair forms galaxies, and in my heart many suns burn with divine love. What is there that could be greater than I that am all, I that am love? Any fear, any doubt, any problem or concern? I hold you in my being so vast. There is nothing more powerful than I. I am the love that is all that you are. So all the love that we are, all that is. So this is like a great comfort card, I think. Fear can loom so large at times that it might seem impossible to conquer. Doubt, despair, grief, and rage may take possession of our being, and all of a sudden there is no way out of the negativity or horror that we may be brave enough to feel. Sometimes we can get lost in the feels. As part of our honest, emotional human journey, we are asked to feel those challenging emotions, like when you get behind the chicken truck. God, that's hard. They are part of what helps us rally the courage and strength to make choices that are helpful and healing to our planet. If we feel it, our power is restored. If we fight it, we're weakening ourselves in those moments. We're spinning our energy out, and it's doing nothing for anybody, including ourselves. So going through it and harnessing the power of that, yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. It's just what we least want to do, because we're programmed to avoid pain, right? We're programmed when we feel pain to retract from it, to move away from it. But our most powerful ability and position is to actually just take a deep breath, call on whatever guides, angels, gods, whatever you feel like you need, and go into it. You'll go a lot faster, and your power is restored so much more quickly. Okay, if we cannot feel the horror of what is happening around us, we might lack the passion needed to summon all of our strength to act, to heal, to help, and to speak out. Yes. We have to feel the horror of it and go back to our state of connection so that we know, is it time for me to act? Is it time for me to take a healing path? Is it time for me to help in some way? And if so, what way? Or is it time for me to use my voice and speak up and speak out? You'll know what to do when you're back in peace, but you won't come fully back to peace until you've gone through that negative emotion, whatever it is, and fully accepted it. It takes a great leader to be a great warrior for love on this planet. I'm going to say that again. It takes a truly great leader to be a great warrior for love on this planet. This leader does not give us false hope or imaginings that all the problems that need solving will just magically go away if we close our eyes and hope hard enough. Instead, this leader inspires us with genuine encouragement and empowerment. There are environmental and socioeconomic problems on this planet that are not all right and will need to fall apart so that healing can occur for the greater good. Sometimes systems have to fail. So, say, like, the worst thing that we can imagine right now would be that Donald Trump would become president. But sometimes systems need to fail. So we do what we can, and we stay in alignment. And if that happens, we understand that it's part of a larger process, and we stay centered so we know what our part is in helping a system to fail or rebuilding said system. So sometimes you'll find this in workplaces where people are fighting really hard to maintain a system that's gotten so right. I'll be right behind you. We can do our work from Canada. There's nothing saying that we have to do it from here. In your workplace, if things start to look like they're falling apart, sometimes just let them fall apart. So if you're exhausting yourself propping up a dysfunctional system, you need to pull your energy back to your own business and let the system do whatever it needs to become healthier. If you're in your workplace and you're broadcasting a lot of love energy, things are going to fall apart. And that's okay. They're being rebuilt in a better form. So without honest, conscious acknowledgement that there is great wounding in our world that needs repair, we can be left with an undercurrent of anxiety, a feeling that something's wrong but it's not being acknowledged. It's like sensitive kids in households where something's going on and they know it, but they're getting told by the adults that everything's okay. That's crazy making. Without acknowledgement of it, constructive solutions can't be implemented. We must be careful that we don't allow our genuine optimism to become a source of falsehood. Our Lady of Great Power comes with a special message from such inspired spiritual leadership, which is the leadership of the Heavenly Mother herself. She tells us that no matter what we may be trying to accomplish, she has power to assist us towards success, and that power is beyond any obstacle that we're currently perceiving. No matter whether it's personal, social, environmental, a legal or financial issue, a spiritual crisis, or beloved other that needs help, we can pray for her and she will provide us with what is needed. We can pray to her. We can pray for women and children and men who are stuck in the sex trade that winds you up as a sex bot. So that's interesting. We can pray for her, is what I read, but we can pray to her, Mary, Mother, the goddess energy. She will provide us with what is needed. And if you don't see feminine energy, you can pray to God, you can pray to anything, you can pray to the void, the emptiness, you can pray for the ability to see things differently, to perceive a miracle in Course in Miracles terms. Make this work for yourself. Our job is to act on that knowledge with trust, praying, listening, responding, waiting, acting, and reflecting. This is how we live with her in her grace and in the magnificence of her great power. So she asks now that you dispense with any habits or beliefs, that it all has to be accomplished on your own. So if you're feeling alone and you feel like you're slogging through and having to do this all by yourself, shift your focus. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Call for help. Call for invisible help. Call for physical help. Let people help you. Say to yourself, I don't have to do all this by myself. I'm not the only person out here. Find like-minded people to come together with. She knows that you have struggled to find the support you have needed at times in your past, and she asks you to put that behind you now. It helped you grow strong and develop self-reliance, but your task is different now. You have that strength and enough self-awareness to know who you are and what has meaning for you. You know how to remain true to yourself, even in partnership or collaboration, joining forces with others. You are being asked to allow yourself to be helped so that you can become an empowered channel for her grace to reach the world. So pray, be open, and know that she is powerful beyond all measure. The time for us to be alone in the wilderness has ended. For the people who come here, the people who are showing up here on this scope I hear the same thing that I was experiencing, a lot of loneliness. A lot of, I've been working this stuff for years by myself, and I'm so tired of doing it by myself. And so when we come together as a group, we get to sustain everything that we've learned. We've learned that we can do it by ourselves. We've learned that we will act on our own behalf and do this work by ourselves. So we don't have to do that anymore. Now we can rest and float a little and, divvy up the tasks, share the burden, share the energy. I change, you change, I change. You expand, I expand. Our group combined energy is expanding us all really rapidly. It's time to not be alone. And if you're still feeling alone, it's time to look at why you might be deliberately keeping yourself alone now, because you don't have to do that anymore. So imagine that you can take any issue, problem, or concern and drop it into vast space, like dropping it into a bottomless well. As you do so, ripples of energy flow out from the empty space. You may even sense that subtle movement. You can say this is an option for a prayer if you need some words. Holy Mother, you are vaster than any concern, and your loving solutions reach me easily now. I ask your help in recognizing your guidance and the courage to act on it at the right time and in the right way, through your grace, for the greatest good, so be it. I'll read that one more time. Holy Mother, our great Lady of Power, you are vaster than any concern, and your loving solutions reach me easily now. I ask for your help in recognizing your guidance and the courage to act upon it at the right time and in the right way, through your grace, for the greatest good, so be it. So be it, and see to it. I like adding the see to it at the end that I saw written in by Octavia Butler. When you're ready, seal your practice with the following affirmation. Say 3 times. The power of my Holy Mother is greater than all that is. She provides me with the best way through so that life and love may flourish now and always. Amen. That's the end of that. That's a pretty good card. With also all the stuff going on around us politically and, the water situation in Detroit, Flint, Michigan, and, nobody's sitting in jail for that yet. What is that about? These people were poisoned deliberately for years. It can be really hard not to attach to the anger of that. What this card is reminding us that we can be part of the solution to the problem once we acknowledge how awful it is, but we don't stay stuck in the awful. We move past it. So we acknowledge that it's screwed up, that it shouldn't have happened, but it did. And we work through our stuff and we let ourselves feel whatever rage we feel about it. I can feel pretty rageful about that water situation. Talk about unnecessary damage. So I can get really wound up about that. So I move through that and then I say, okay, is there something for me to do about this situation? Like this particular water situation in Michigan? Is there something that I personally need to do? And then I have to wait for the answer. So it's saying, pray, offer yourself as an answer to someone's prayer. Oh yeah, and when I say offer yourself, all that means is saying, I'm willing. If there's something for me to do, I'm willing to do it. And I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to stay centered in your love, and I'm going to stay acknowledging whatever comes up for me, whatever that is, and so that I can hear if there's something for me to do. Sometimes there is, and sometimes there isn't. Sometimes all that's needed is for you to process your own emotions about it. Because when you return to peace, you add to the peace that's available. If you stay in anger, you add to the anger. You stay in hatred, you add to the hate. Which one do you want to add to today? Understanding that you can't jump it. You can't leapfrog it. You have to process your own, what we would label bad. There really isn't any bad. But what we would label it, move through that first. Does that make sense? Got to do your own work first. Then you can be the answer to someone's prayer. Got to do your own stuff first. If you don't do your own stuff first, you're tainting the process. I totally lost my place in this book. Prayer doesn't change a situation for you so much as it changes you for the situation. It changes the effects in your life because it changes you on the level of cause. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle: when the perceiver changes, that which is perceived changes. I think I've said this before, but a good book on quantum physics is Alice in Quantum Land. It's a good one to understand the science of quantum physics, and then you can relate it back to the work we do here, if that's something you're interested in. Yeah, that was a book flip, because I don't know where we're at. I don't know. Totally lost our place. If I can find it. Maybe I'll look. Well, it's the change me prayers. It's that concept. Prayer doesn't change the situation. Praying for your job to change is wasted prayer. Prayer doesn't change the situation. It changes you for the situation. So, asking other people to change won't get you anywhere. Asking that yourself be changed, or moved, or healed, or whatever needs to happen is the only effective way of shifting something. Asking to remember, I don't like to pray for strength. I like to pray to remember that I'm strong. If I pray for money, I've forgotten that I'm already rich. So I like to pray to remember. Change me into someone who remembers how to receive. Change me into someone who remembers my own connection to God today. Change me into someone who remembers how to come at the world through love rather than irritation. I love that prayer changes me too. It's the only power I've got. Trying to change the outside situation, it's just spitting in the wind. You're just going to get wet. Alright, this is the other thing I flipped open to, so I'll just read this and we'll call it good. And I'll try and figure out where we actually were. So the prayer that I flipped open to in the Law of Divine Compensation is in the Beyond Guilt chapter. Dear God, love, source, whatever you want to call it, I feel that I have failed. I feel that all my efforts have come to naught. I feel shame at the way my life has turned out. I do not know what to do or where to go. Please, dear God, repair my heart, heal my mind, and change my life. Pave a way for me out of darkness into light. I atone for my errors, and I pray for forgiveness. Please do for me what I cannot do. Thank you, God. Amen. Which kind of goes with what we were reading earlier. There's a different way to see this. So saying a prayer like the one we just said opens your mind for the miracle of a shift in perception, to see your situation differently, to understand that whatever happened is what should have happened, and everyone can learn from it, whether they choose to or not. Everyone can take information from that situation and learn and grow from it, and you have no idea the impact on other people, what it should or shouldn't have been, and it's not your business to know. Your business, my business, God's business. Let's not try to get into anything but our own business. Pave a way for me out of darkness into light. I atone for my errors and I pray for forgiveness. Please do for me what I cannot do. Thank you, God. Amen. Amen. I feel like we should sing Amazing Grace or something. Okay. I'm going to call it good. I feel complete in the situation here today. That's what happens when you actually wake up early enough to do your own practice before you turn the camera on. Yeah, I got to get lined up first. Then I'm not spending the first 15 minutes of our scoping time coming into alignment. I get aligned first. Same thing I tell you. Do your own work first. Do your own focusing first. I feel pretty good. Thank you. Oh, yay. If you guys aren't doing the fire starter sessions, that's a free course going around. Oh, it was a healing sleep, I'm sure. Fire starter sessions is a free course going around right now. I think a lot of you are already doing it. It's really beneficial as a daily practice too. Keyword being daily. Well, first we talked about the Mists of Avalon, which I'll put in the group. And then the other one is the fire starter sessions. Yeah, I'm liking it. The link is on my Facebook page. You might have to scroll down, because I'm an over poster. I post way too much. I love Facebook. Yes, and the chants are on YouTube. Oh, no, sorry. Susan, the one I just read from is the Law of Divine Compensation. Oh, thanks. Well, and then, Susan, I think you came in when I was reading from this Oracle deck book. I think when you first came in, I was reading out of this. The card I pulled for us, in case for anybody who came in late, was this one. Our Lady of Great Power. Hey, Michelle. So I think that's what you heard first, Susan. We're just wrapping up. Are you feeling better? A lot of resources today. And then I'll do one more thing. Poopy sleep. Strike obligation, insert choice. All of this stuff is a choice. You don't have to. Insert choice. Out of the Truth Bomb deck. Okay. Michelle, you really got hit hard by that illness, which I think is a processing out physically of all your internal changes. So I think you got a cold, but I think there's also other stuff going on, which, by the way, you can put oil on leather bracelets. There's a little bit of rose on this one. So, any questions? Comments? Concerns? Have you taken a deep breath today? Have you done your 3 deep breaths, your 360 breathing for today yet? If you have not, do it. Just do it. Yes, and Michelle, yesterday your rose oil shipped. Really? Odd synchronicities between Facebook, Periscopes, and your life. Cynthia, we're just wrapping up. I'm glad we at least got to say hi. Hi, Cynthia. Susan, the first thing that people experience and notice is an increase in synchronous events, an increase in synchronicities. Good morning, Cynthia. Is your schedule settled down at all? Your crazy work schedule? You'll find the synchronicity events just increasing and increasing and increasing until you find it hard to tell the difference between, yes, that's the group energy. What others are experiencing and talking about, you're experiencing too. Yeah. And that seems to be planetary. I mean, Kyle Sees was producing videos on the same day we were talking about the same subjects, and we hadn't seen the videos. Marianne Williamson's talks have been on point, same thing. Who else? Tosha Silver. The oracle cards, people doing oracle card readings, you'll find will have the same theme for several days in a row. Different readers, but the same theme is coming across. Yeah, Michelle was actually calling Kyle Sees and giving him the 411. Yeah, you start to notice the oneness, right, Susan? You start to notice how we're all connected and doing the same things at the same time. Infiltrated. We've been infiltrated. We've got a mole. So, yeah. So have a great day. I'm going to sign off here. I've got to write a blog post today about Avengers cat food. The not spiritual part of my job, my self-created jobs. Hey, free cat food is nothing to sneeze at, and this is some seriously good cat food. So the review will be up later today about the cat food. All right, guys, I love you so much, and thank you for being here. Thank you so much for starting my morning in a much happier place. I took my glasses off, so now I can't see your comments. You don't have a cat? I can fix that for you. Where are you? I can find you a cat. No, I know where you're at. Okay. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for more Tao Te Ching and Byron Katie stuff. Or BK Smackdown. I'm just going to start putting that in the comment. BK Smackdown and Tao Te Ching. Alright, love you guys. Bye.